This is one of those topics where we can run down and talk about the topic, or we can walk down and talk about the bigger story. Oh man, this is huge. Someone from that show sent me a text, and there's so many people on that show, y'all ain't gonna know who. I was like, what? I thought it was a prank. Kind of like this weekend when you were like, what? What happened to Donald Trump? You just like can't believe your eyes. Well, this one is real. And right now, based on reactions, some are giving Skip Bayless his flowers and some are dancing on his grave. Well, we're going to talk about the bigger story because I think both sides needs to be understood, needs to be respected. So first, let's just start off with the simple question of how in the hell did we get here? Skip Bayless, no longer on Undisputed, starting this summer? Well, the writing was on the wall, as they would say. In our business, just like in sports media, you get based on the ratings. You get based on the objective numbers. You get based on the metrics, right? In sports, got a scoreboard up there. Only like 8 things on the scoreboard. You don't want to know why? Because that's all we care about. The time, how many timeouts, points. You know what I mean? Like, it's very few things we care about, and we can measure them all. Well, Skip Bayless was being measured by his ratings, and they were horrible. No way around it. Horrible. Let me tell you how we really got here. Beyond that, it's just the ratings been bad for like a year or so since Shannon Sharpe left. But more than that, they wasted an entire NFL football season trying to put that carousel of characters together. It did not work. And I never thought it would work, and it wasn't because of the carousel of characters, if you hear what I'm saying. I thought it was going to be because Skip Bayless was still the straw that was stirring that drink. And I was like, I don't think that straw can stir it no more, homie, but y'all do you. They obviously paid him a 4-year, $32 million deal, so he was making $8 million a year. It's hard to get $8 million a year because I never got that in sports media. And it's also hard to get rid of somebody who's making $8 million a year because you believe in them, you invested in them, you want to get that ROI. So that's how we got there. So last season was wasted in NFL. Y'all know Fox. Don't mess with their football. Don't mess around with their football. And this year, not only do we have another NFL season everyone's always excited about, king of all sports in America, but we got a $400 million investment damn near in Tom Brady. And let's just say our flagship show needs to hype that up, needs to magnify that. Dare I say, amplify all the other shows, and it's not happening. Now, this all isn't on Skip Bayless. This isn't all on Undisputed because they're getting a horrible lead in from the Carton show, if you want to talk just the ratings. Now, there's been some blips of late, like, oh, okay, that show did well. Oh, okay. And look, whenever they put on soccer, don't look at the ratings at FS1 because they get inflated. But outside that, there's been moments. People love Tim Hardaway on there, etc. But not the same as before when they had First Things First. First Things First set it off right, and then Undisputed was able to roll. So a lot of moving parts here. But Skip Bayless on linear cable was just not a draw anymore. We know that. We saw that. We felt that. Just got stale. Just was like, it was so formulaic that it worked when we didn't know what the formula was, right? You got to remember, Skip Bayless deserves a lot of flowers for bringing this platform to where it is right now. We'll talk about that. But once we got here, we like, what else is here? Not just that. And that was proven in the digital space. So Skip Bayless has the Skip Bayless Show, if you guys don't know about it. When I was working at Fox, he had the Skip Bayless Show. And that show right now has 160,000 subscribers, which by most metrics outside of the stars and the unicorns is damn good. You don't believe me? I know a lot of people out there that have tried to have podcasts. It ain't 160,000. Skip Bayless got there in 2-3 years, right? But here's the problem, and I'm going to use me as an example. I've only been in this space for like over a year and a half, almost a year and a half, not even yet. And I got almost 160,000 subscribers right now, like 158, 159. So I'm going to pass Skip Bayless in a week or two, and I've been doing it half the time he's been doing it. And he's Skip Bayless. Like, one thing about me, I'm honest, dog. There's levels to this. Skip Bayless in sports media, right? Ain't no way I'm supposed to catch him in half the time. And that's what's happening. So, Skip Bayless, you're not proving it in traditional, digital, or you're not traditional or digital. What are we going to do here? You're making $8 million a year. Let's just say we can't let this continue. Okay, so now we got both sides. Let's talk about the guys who are dancing on his grave and the guys who are giving him his flowers. To me, Skip Bayless is literally Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Yep, Dr. Jekyll, who made that serum that turned him into that other guy. And that serum turned our sports media space into something else. Sports media, before Skip Bayless really got his footing, let's say it was an afterthought, right? You cared about the athletes, and then you're like, all right, media person, tell me what they're up to. Like, you are a conduit. You are just a step through, okay? Ain't nobody stopping for you. You ain't the star. But I will give Skip Bayless credit, along with others. You know, like, let's not act like other people didn't contribute to it, but Skip Bayless has to be the poster child for making this thing a thing. And that's what happened. He became the biggest thing going. Now, in the process of becoming the biggest thing going, he took the serum that made it one of the ugliest things going. Obviously, flashbacks of some of the episodes with Jalen Rose, Richard Sherman, these conflicts that obviously boosted the ratings and boosted Skip Bayless's profile were also some of the things that were going to be written when it was time for him to fall. Those are the things you're going to think about, like, yeah, that moment did tell me more than just, whoa, they going at it. That moment told me that there are a clash of the titans. Sports media ultimately has to be about sports, not the media. And if we all have noticed one thing of late, it's way more about the media than it should be. I think it's still about the sports. Look, football comes on. Hey, dog, just tell me the information. Shut up. Or I'm going to go over there and hear some stories. But I ain't trying to make you the star no more. That's why there's so many former players on the digital shows, podcasts, and on the traditional shows, you notice as well. At first, it was like they had this little blockade, like, nah, we're going to keep it to the Stephen A. Smiths, and we're going to keep it to the Skip Baylesses. And then all of a sudden, they realized, nah. Now, they're still making the most money outside of a Pat McAfee, but still, they were trying to keep us away and make it more about the stars, which was the sports pundits. Well, Skip Bayless got caught up in that, and he kind of wrote his own ticket. He wrote his own downfall. And those moments were years ago, and he had more. But you combine him being formulaic, like just doing the same old anecdote. Like, we already know, man, come on. Okay, that was predictable. That was funny. Archie Bunker used to do it. It worked. All in the family. This ain't that. And you're a formula? And you really going at guys? Like, you had a troll run of LeBron James, and LeBron James actually is outlasting you, and you trolling him. Like, LeBron's the second best basketball player, third best if you really want to go there. Third best ever. Kareem, Jordan, LeBron. Come on, let's be real. He deserves a decade long of trolling? So, it's funny that this all really came to a head. We had all those breadcrumbs that led to that epic episode about Tom Brady. And remember when they went at it, Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless, about Tom Brady. And woo! Shannon was mad, big mad, because he like, dog, what game are we playing here? Are we playing the game where we talk about what we see? Or are we playing the game where we talk about who we seeing in front of us? And Shannon got mad at that with good reason. Now, he also got sensitive to it because Skip, you got to know, ain't tripping. You ain't his dog like that. Like, I'm here for the work. Even what? Gervestein, no, it's about the work first. I marry you after I marry this work. So, man. But that was the moment. Brady caused all of this. And ain't it crazy that if you look at their relationship, it mirrors what Brady went through. Brady and Belichick in real life is Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless. Ain't that crazy? Because you can't deny greatness on both sides. You can't do that. Like, for all y'all who thinking that Skip Bayless made Shannon Sharpe, I just want y'all to know, people like us who played against Shannon Sharpe and who watched him go to CBS right after he finished playing, we were like, he a dude. Now, CBS, you know those studio shows are stuffy like that. Them studio shows. It's even tough for anybody with flavor, right, to go up there and do it. But he pulled it off. And then, obviously, some issues disappeared, came back. Voila. Shannon Sharpe's in the building. So, you got to thank Skip for helping Shannon get that opportunity, obviously. But you got to have a dude, and he had a dude in Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe is Tom Brady. Yep. For all y'all who saying, oh, he made him. Yeah, they said that about Belichick making Brady. Unheralded, a sixth rounder, pick 199. Oh, Shannon Sharpe was on the streets, wasn't doing anything. Okay, say what you want. And then watch Brady go ball. To the point that when Brady left Belichick, went to Tampa, said, let me get another one of them rings, homie. Onion rings. You got onion rings? And Shannon left Skip and went and got another ring. Maybe two, maybe three. I don't know. First take, that's a ring. They're already rolling. You jump on that, got that going. Even bigger. Club Shay Shay was already rolling, but it's bigger. Set a record for the most watched interview ever. What? And then you got Nightcap. And you're not done. You just started your production company. Oh. Go, Brady. Get busy like Brady. Oh, you going to win a ring in Tampa? Oh, you going to go buy some teams? Oh, you going to get $400 million from Fox? Go, Brady. Get busy. Go, Shannon. Get busy. And then Belichick. Now, y'all know how much I love Bill Belichick. Best coach ever. In the relationship with Brady, I even still will say it was Belichick. Only because Belichick was there before Brady. In the NFL. I ain't talking about just the New England. I'm talking about the NFL. Ask Bill Parcells how good Bill Belichick is. I'm talking about the Giants, them defenses. Golly, with LT. That was Belichick. Even when we played against the Jets, they didn't win it all. We were like, God dang what they doing. Belichick. But Skip Bayless is Belichick. Because when Shannon left, when Brady left, how's it going, Belichick? How's it going, Skip? Belichick out of a job. Now Skip Bayless will be out at Undisputed FS1. So, thought there was a lot of parallels there. Like, literally, Skip Bayless is Dr. Jekyll creating this character. Because he's a really nice guy in real life. Trust me, I call him Bubbles because he's so nice. And just like, oh, don't pop the bubble. Drinks the serum, Mr. Hyde. And Mr. Hyde was this dude trolling LeBron, was the dude trying to clown Jalen Rose, was the dude trying to clown Richard Sherman, etc. And that ended up eating him up, killing him, killing his career potentially. But what a career, right? We can't go there on Skip Bayless. What a career. Even though right now the legacy is going to be tainted by Shannon Sharpe, you can't mention Skip Bayless without mentioning Shannon Sharpe. And every time you mention that, it's going to be advantage Shannon Sharpe. Kind of like Drake. Every time you're going to say how great Drake is, you mention Kendrick, that is kryptonite. That will bring that legacy into a different perspective. Crazy, right? But he did infuse stardom. Let's give him his flowers right now. He infused stardom into a genre where literally the guy talking was the afterthought. And I gotta love that. Gotta love that. He's the one that made everybody say, oh, because without him, there's no Stephen A. Smith. Without him, there's no Pat McAfee. Without him, there's no Shannon Sharpe. I'm talking about in Q rating, star power, making that money, right? Those guys. But let's not get it twisted. He did infuse stardom into it, but he wasn't the first one. Let's go to the money, power, and respect. The money was already in the game. Ask Jim Rome. Jim Rome was making $30 million a year. I think in like '01. Something way back. I remember. I was like, God dang. Because I remember being an active player going on Jim Rome's show, and I was like, what is going on here? Why you got this whole studio to yourself? And he had his whole crew and everything, and the Matt brothers, all this stuff. Jim Rome been making dope. Jim Rome lived next to Kobe Bryant. So the money part was already there. The power, go ahead, Skip. I'll give you some flowers for that. Because the power to run two networks, literally the two biggest sports media networks for us and daily talk shows, you either was at ESPN, you was at FS1. He ran ESPN, got to the top. Ran FS1, got to the top. Give him his power. But what did Kendrick say? Respect. The third one's better. It's tough to respect fully what Skip did because he was taking shots at what he was doing. He was taking shots at what he was supposed to be covering. He literally was out there and he hijacked sports media worse than anybody else. And this is why I understand why people are dancing on his grave. Because I even have resentment towards Skip in this way. Dog, if you ever play sports, you know how special it is. It saves lives. It keeps kids off the streets. It gives you self-esteem, confidence, etc. Let alone get a scholarship. Let alone make it to the league and get paid. That's just cherries on top. Icing on cake. But just to play rec league was amazing. And then this dude gonna change the whole complexion and discourse around it. So now, I can sit here in the stands with a big belly and a beer and talk trash about you, and it's valid. It's validated by somebody who's the biggest thing talking. Like he rigged the game. Mr. Hyde took the serum, and y'all know how that story ended. Killed himself, which killed both of them. So even the good Skip that I like, that I know, did so much crazy that it ended up killing him. Ended up killing his career. We'll see how he rebounds. I'm not going to say all of that. But y'all get the point. You know what's crazy about this? Let's go back to April 25th, the day that ended his career. Yeah. Because First Take was averaging like 500,000. They say 485, around 500,000 viewers, right? And Undisputed that day got 45,000. But say it again, 500,000 to 45,000. What's so bad about that day? Why is that day sticking out? April 25th? Because that was the first day of the NFL draft. And LA, the Lakers had a playoff game. So wait a minute. I'm going to tell you how this really went down, even though I don't know, but I know. If you're an executive at Fox, and Charlie Dixon runs everything over there. Salute to Charlie Dixon. He knows that's my dog. I love him. Known him forever. He's known Skip forever. Like Charlie Dixon came from a different network, was at ESPN. Him and Jamie Horowitz, others, all created First Take from Cold Pizza, Sports Nation, etc. Winners Bracket, Undisputed. They kept rolling, right? Now Jamie Horowitz is co-founder running Omaha Productions with Peyton Manning. Want to know why Peyton Manning out here killing it? He got Jamie Horowitz with him and others. That's how the game goes, y'all. Anyway, April 25th told Charlie Dixon and others, but Charlie Dixon, whose boys were Skip. That's my guy, right? We going into another NFL season. This is the NFL draft, day one. Lead-off show on our network, our flagship show, gets 45,000 viewers for the NFL draft, which is a forecast of what the season's gonna look like, right? So you're like, and then on top of that, your best work, your best troll job, the thing you hang your hat on is LeBron James. Well, the Lakers are in the playoffs, and nobody's checking for what you gotta say. There it is. That was the day. Now, as y'all know, in any relationship that ends, you spend half the time breaking up. Any relationship that ends, y'all had a 6-year relationship. Them last 3 years, little rocky. Let's just say for Skip Bayless, what's been rocky has been obviously Shannon Sharpe leaving And what before that, what was rocky, was the fact that Skip Bayless has so much control. So there's no breaks on the relationship with Skip Bayless. There's no like, all right, let's make a turn here. He got control. And what that control means, when it's time to hit a corner, when it's time to swerve, when it's time to maneuver, you're not so nimble. You ain't got no brakes. So it's either all or nothing. And this decision was not mutual. Do not let them fool you. I know all the reports because people are going to say it different ways. They're going to say he left. They're going to say he fired. It ain't about that. Just know it wasn't mutual. You want to know why? Because someone has to initiate that call. And someone called that meeting to discuss what we're going to talk about, which is these ratings, this relationship, that revenue you're not producing, and ultimately your return or not. That's what it was about. So somebody called that meeting. And let's just say it ain't Skip. Skip, hey, Charlie. Let's have a meeting. I want to talk about how we not getting viewership. I want to talk about how this cast of characters ain't working with me, and it ain't them. Let's talk about how this NFL season going to be the same, if not worse. Like, Skip ain't calling them. He ain't doing that. They doing that to him. I've been on teams before. I've been cut before. I've been released before. I've been changed up before. You know, when I left Fox, they was like, Marcellus, we want to do something different. Let's talk about it. I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to contribute to what Skip Bayless and them doing. And this is changing the complexion. Like, woo! Because culture is what's rewarded. And because the rewards have shifted, you take Skip Bayless out, immediately the psychology of the industry says, oh, that trolling stuff ain't it no more. Not to that degree. Watch it. Watch it. Now, Stephen A's still out there, but he ain't Skip. He don't troll like that. He got a different angle. But watch it. Watch this. If Stephen A don't get his money, the trolling is going to die. And then the whole, my brother and black card, and they making everything racial going to die. Oh, I am not wishing ill on Stephen A. Get your money, dog. But boy, I wish they could teach a lesson and get that out the game. Get this race out of the game. Get this trolling out the game. Shit, Charlie called me. I'm back. I'll come back for that. But this, no. Y'all rewarding these suckers for out here just saying anything? Watch out. So, Skip Bayless got his love. Skip Bayless got his hate. What do I really feel? I'm so conflicted because I know the guy and I like the guy a lot. I've never had a bad moment with Skip. Literally, never, ever. They're not the deepest, we skipping rocks, but at the same time, never a bad thing to say about that person. The persona, whack. I never liked Skip Bayless like trolling. I hated that lane. All I liked is Skip knew his stuff. So when Skip, it was almost like you get something to eat and you're like, you got to cut that part off. You got to scrape the, it's like burnt toast. You got to scrape the top. You're like, all right, give me my butter and my jelly. Let me get this top layer off. This top layer of trolling off. Okay. There we go. There's Skip. I hated it. I was like, ugh. And I like working with him, but I was like, I got to maneuver around the trolling. Well, the guy who hijacked the sports industry in terms of how we talk it, and then ultimately how guys were walking it, because they got pissed. Russell Westbrook, come on, let's not even go there. Woo, great impact, but also great damage. Let's see if he returns back to his greatness. Hopefully he does, because I don't wish any ill on anybody. But boy, in terms of that trolling, good riddance.